because right away, let's talk about what could be a potential bloodbath between Jimmy Crute and Anthony Smith. Honestly, man, Anthony Smith is one of those guys where he deserves money out of our pockets as viewers, because win or lose, the man is giving you a beautiful fight. I have to say, I respect him to an absolute crazy level, maybe more than most, only because of what he brings to the table. I mean, even think about him fighting a prospect like Gamzatov and him pulling out. I mean, these are the things that really kind of stick out for a guy like who's just ready to throw down for anybody. Took out Devin Clark on pretty much short notice, and that was a fairly easy fight for him. But that was after an 0-2 stint against big boys. Alexander Rakic, who I think is probably from a non-super fight, big name type of fighter, next in line for that title shot. Glover, my man, Glover. Jan Glover, that's my fight of the year. Check that, my boys. I don't even care who wins. I just love them both, and I hope they do really well in that fight and get their paper boo. But let's get right back into this one. But, I mean, Anthony Smith, what have we seen from him? Sneaky jiu-jitsu. Really, really impressed. I like the way, if you're thinking about a guy like Jimmy Crute, who's such a good guy on the ground, who's able to, work you with punches and submissions, whatever you give him, Jimmy Crute is taking. Anthony Smith is kind of sneaky, right? Where do I not want to see him? Against the fence. I don't want to see him getting pushed up, getting tired, taking mean body shots from a guy like Jimmy Crute, because Jimmy Crute's going to push your pace. He's going to make you fight his fight. Now, Alex Smith, great kicker, man. Use those kicks. Don't use them to your head, because I think that that's a terrible opportunity for you to get taken down, a terrible opportunity for you to get gassed. I think that using your leg kicks, using your body kicks, tire Jimmy Crute out, working some of your striking. And if you can get some of your opportune takedowns to work in some of your jiu-jitsu, do that. But, I really think that this is an exciting as hell fight. There's just, you can't even really, if you visualize this fight, it's absolutely ridiculous, right? Because both guys just bring so much energy and just perseverance to the octagon, win or lose, right? Like Jimmy Crute, in watching some of these, losses, the Serkinov fight, how is that first round not one of the best rounds everybody talks about, I think that's such an underrated fight. When you go and watch it again and again, you're like, geez, that just takes your time. You can watch that over again. So beautiful. Both guys were so technical. And honestly, Serkinov at the time was just such a, I say it already, but grizzled vet. He was in a place in his career where he had seen so much. And Jimmy Crute was just getting his feet wet with guys like this. And, in a very athletic and not so, dominating way, Serkinov got the win. And I think that that's actually a bigger, telling of Jimmy Crute and his abilities at the time. Both these dudes are BJJ black belts. So don't be surprised, man. As much as I say this is going to be a bloodbath, I mean, yeah, they're probably going to land strikes to the point where both of them just hit the deck and are just rolling at an absolute poetry emotion type of way, because both guys just don't give up. They just grind. I love it. Jimmy Crute, one of the main things I love about him, IQ. The guy looks like he's been doing this for the last 20 years. That Buskauskas fight, everything he did was perfect. I thought that was a perfectly fought fight. And do I believe that it was also kind of not really the caliber of fighter that he should probably be fighting? Yeah, obviously. But at the same time, Buskauskas got the opportunity of a lifetime to take on a rising, star like Jimmy Crute. And I thought did well in the beginning, but then took the big shots that Jimmy Crute likes to throw. And in this case, let's be real. Everything about Jimmy Crute is just, he's a proven beast, right? Everything. I think that when you look at, strength, technique, I think that's the biggest, comparison that I if I have to nitpick with Jimmy Crute, that Serkinov fight, a lot of the ways he got up was not technical. It was very powerful. He forced his way out of those positions. And with a guy like, Anthony Smith, who kind of brings, a little bit more of that grit and technical skill to things, maybe it's not so easy for you. But at the same time, both guys have heart for days. So that's what makes it so exciting. And I mean, when you look at the way he put together everything after that Peruvian necktie, it just goes off for 2-0 in a knockout and in a submission win. That's the best part about it, is his entire, repertoire in the UFC. I just think that he has all the skills to kind of stand out, but now he's going to be taking on kind of the fighters that he should be taking on. And I think Anthony Smith brings a lot more to the table than people are probably giving credit for. And let's see if I'm right with that line. Yeah. So, I mean, minus 200 is fairly high, in my opinion, for Jimmy Crute, but that's also how I'm pitching him to you. And that's obviously where he's respected, right? The guy's a 100% contender, probably if you had to rank the prospects who are not really prospects, but are from a championship perspective, yeah, he's a UFC championship prospect. So that's what makes him so good. The striking defense is there. Takedown ability is there. Everything that you want to say about a fighter that, you're seeing really good things out of, it's him. And he's done it against two guys that are fairly skilled, That's where I think the Anthony Smith fight is just going to be the one where we really get to see what he's capable of. And for me, if he's not able to push the pace, if he's not landing those big body shots and getting Anthony Smith up against the fence and doing big work there inside that clinch, dirty boxing, cutting him up, getting him tired, then I think this line's a little crazy because, yes, Jimmy Crute is phenomenal. Minus 200, though, in where these game plans could shift is pretty crazy because Anthony Smith's striking is definitely good enough to give Jimmy Crute a run for his money. So in this case, I'm a little surprised by how drastic these lines are. But let's remember that Anthony Smith's body of work over the last little bit more so portrays a guy who dominated a short notice Devin Clark per se, but also lost to two of the bigger prospects, fighting for a title, and Jimmy Crute's now the new crop of guys who are entering that same realm. So understandable, but at the same time, Lionheart might deserve a sprinkle by some of you, risk takers. I think there's an opportunity there for him to win. There is a slight hole. I see a path for him. And in that case, when I see that minus 200, minus 250 on the reverse side of the dog, you might want to look into that a bit more.